Just tell us how the fight played out in comparison to your expectations and what the game plan was tonight.
Yeah, I thought the fight unraveled and the game plan was, you know, pretty well. The first 2 rounds, just believe in myself, make them miss, make them pay, believe in the wrestling. So yeah, I think the expectations were great. I think that there's obviously always something to work on, but 16 months out from the octagon, we'll take a win.
How much of when you're fighting in there, is it you fighting yourself to a degree? We know what your natural instincts are in a lot of these fights. Do you kind of have to fight outside of yourself a little bit sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously I'm a savage, and so it's hard to contain that. And Coach Dewey was a phenomenal job at reminding me all camp, all week, in between rounds, composure, champion, composure. Don't. I see these shots and I just want to go. And it's sometimes you just gotta keep the composure. And get back to the win column. And so forever grateful for him. His coaching, his mentality. Chase Pammy, Javid Bashrat was in my corner as well. They gave phenomenal advice throughout the whole 15-minute duration of the fight.
Obviously, you talked a lot about media day, about what you've been through in the past couple of years and leading up to this fight. Because of that, is this one of the more gratifying wins? Obviously, you've had bigger ones in terms of magnitude, but in terms of importance.
I honestly think every fight is, it's our Super Bowl. It's everyone's Super Bowl. We don't get 16-week season. We get a fight, and then hopefully you win and don't get injured, and you go back fighting in a few months. So yeah, it's a huge fight. It's to get a win. This sport is evolving so much. It's phenomenal. I mean, you look at some of these fighters that are having their debut and the skill that they bring inside the octagon. It's pretty phenomenal. The sport's amazing. I'm truly in love with it. The passion's back. I had a lot of fun in there. The build up, I had a lot of things going on in the last 16 months. I mean, even prior to last week to this morning, I had so many things that were just trying to block and not make me get to the octagon. I ended up injuring my neck. Had to have a nerve block put in my neck last week. Man, I was my last takedown in my warm up this morning. I ended up slamming my neck, getting a huge stinger, losing all full range of motion of my left arm. And I'm just like, what? There's never going to be an ideal situation. Just like in life, there's never going to be an ideal situation. So I just was excited and believed in myself. Did some meditation. I've been working with Micah at the UFC PI on the mental fortitude and the mental strength. And, through these losses, we're judged off of wins and losses in our career. So through these losses, I would try to, do something different that I've never done, in a physical aspect. I got to train harder. I got to do this. I got to incorporate this. But I never really worked on the mental side, and Dr. Capo was always pressing me, hey, go speak to a mental therapist, it's kind of not talked about, but I'm forever grateful for Micah at the UFC PI that's given me a lot of tools to deal with engagement, focus, being present. I think the last few fights, last few years of my life and just the career, I have not been engaged in the things that mattered. I had outside forces blocking and trying to pull me in different directions where the focus needed to be on the opponent, being inside of my game plan. My life was in limbo, and just forever grateful that I'm, working on my mental fortitude, my mental health, and getting back to the love for the sport. We'll take this win and we'll dissect it and we'll grow from it.
How close, given what happened this morning, was there a possibility you would be able to fight tonight?
Oh man, it was yeah. I mean, my arm is still, neck still. One of the takedowns I got ended up for about 2 minutes of the round. I kept looking at the clocks. Now they have them. It's pretty nice to kind of look at the clock. Ended up getting a really bad stinger. He almost got me in a guillotine. Fought out of it, but the arm was completely dead. So, I mean, like I said, there's never an ideal situation inside the octagon. You got another trained killer trying to take your head off for, to win his money, and who knows what he's faced against and what he's got going on in his life, so I'm just forever grateful that we came out, without any serious injuries, and we'll both go back to camps and training, and hope that he stays in the UFC. He took the fight. He's a very tough opponent. Took it 5 weeks ago, and he's a durable guy. I mean, he's fought a lot of tough dudes. Like, he's not had an easy route inside this octagon. I hope the UFC keeps him because he came and brought his A game. He was I was as sharp as ever, and complete martial artist this fight, and he was willing to tango.
And just last thing for me, given that, is this something you're gonna have to take some time to take care of, or do you kind of know what the path look for moving forward looks like from here?
Yeah, for me, it was all last camp too. I fought injured, but I was so gung ho on making the weight and getting to the debut and looking past. Instead of going to the next level, I was just trying to move forward. Just get a win. Everything else will fall in place. Life will be good. Instead of like focusing on things that the small battles that I could have won to help and just make life easier for myself. Looking at, I win this fight, I'm fighting for the world title, and I was like, I've been a world champion. That'll come. I know, the mountain to climb. It's just a different path this time. So, I got to win, and it's momentum. So I'm going to use this momentum, get back with my coaches. As the first coach or first camp that I work with these guys. So it was a lot in the line, and we got our skills together, and we got our, training. And so I'm forever grateful for Dewey Cooper, Chase Pammy, Javid Basharat, O'Day. I sparred O'Day a lot, Farid Basharat, all those guys that came out here. And the move was, I had to adapt here, and they brought me in, and they gave me their best work. So I'm really thankful for them.
Cody, right here. The broadcast, especially in the first couple of rounds, they were using phrases like, Cody's he's fighting like a world champion again. He just looks like the better martial artist out there. So when you're in there fighting, did you just get a sense of, in any moment of the fight, that you're just like, there are levels to this when fighting your opponent?
Yeah, I've showed that there's levels. I think I had one of the most dominant UFC title fights ever, and I was underdog in that fight. So yeah, there's definitely levels, and I'm keep climbing that, and just like I said, momentum, using this momentum. 2016 I had momentum. I was unranked from world champion the same calendar year, and not many people believed in me, but the UFC gave me the opportunity, and I ran with it. So it's going back to momentum. It's been a long time since I've had momentum and structure in my life. So I think that is a recipe for success for me, and having good coaches, good people in my life. And I'm forever grateful for Team Alpha Male. I went there at 22 years old, want to know as a pro, a broken kid with a dream. And Uriah Faber brought me into the camp, and I was covered in tattoos, and I didn't fit the Team Alpha Male clean cut, 12 pack persona that they portrayed there. But he asked me what I wanted to do, and I was like, hey, I want to be a world champion. I was 1-0. I'm sure he's had thousands of men and people tell him that he wanted to do that, come into his gym, and he shook my hand. And he said, all right, I got to 5-0, got to the UFC, and 11-0 as a world champion. And forever grateful for those guys. I love them. Those are my family. Also, I want to give a huge thanks to Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida, Frankie Egger. Did a lot of camps up there in the past, and their knowledge and the love and the time that they spent with me to help me, in this career and this journey. I'm grateful for everyone that's helped me out and where I'm at now.
And obviously, it's been a while since you fought at bantamweight, but in that time frame, there's been a lot of people consider this to be the most talent-rich division in just all of MMA. You're a massive name. There's obviously a lot of young people coming up. At one point, do you just step back and you look at the lay of the land and see what you want next for your opponent?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd like to fight International Fight Week in July. That's something that I've always wanted to fight on. I think it's a great card. It's right around my birthday. I was slated 3 or 4 times to fight there, and it's never prospered. So hopefully that I can get on that card. Gives me enough time to get back with my coaches and team and reassess and grow from this momentum and win that we've had. And I think July is a great card. Whoever they want to give me, prepared. Coach Dewey and Javid and Coach Pammy will have me ready.
Well, given that you keep using the phrase momentum and you're a popular name, former champion, do you think you can dictate who you want to fight next, or do you want this kind of slow momentum build up?
That this is momentum, any momentum. So I like to fight whoever. I truly believe I'm one of the best in the world. I've proven that. I can keep proving that time and time again. As long as the love and the passion, and I keep working on my mental fortitude, going inside these octagons and keeping my life staying and stable and structurized. I don't believe anyone can beat me in the world. I think there are so many factors that contributed to the victory. Dewey Cooper is a phenomenal coach. Moving out here, getting to work with them, I was, when you work with new coaches, like he never tried to, change me at all. A lot of the coaches, would try to reinvent the wheel. I'm a Ferrari at the end of the day. Coach Dewey wasn't trying to put new wheels and tune-ups on me. He was just polishing me up, and making me believe myself, believe my kicks, believe my speed and the power and the vision and the footwork, and just, he's a world champion. He's world class, and what he's able to do inside his career to showcase to us. I mean, he's there for a reason, and his heart and energy that he puts into each one of his fighters, I just noticed throughout camp. I'm like, man, this guy really loves the sport, but he loves the people that's down for him. So just that, the structure that we went through, the things that we were working on. Getting back to the wrestling, Coach Chase Pammy has a amazing Gold Rush Wrestling Academy out here. And he's like, the first time I worked on him, he's like, you can really wrestle, man. He's like, believe in your wrestling. And that's what we did, believe in your wrestling. It's mixed martial arts. So to be able to use that and use those tools instead of just striking, and it opens up so much more. Then obviously going with my stablemates, O'Day, the Basharat brothers, Amir. I mean, there's been so many. Twilight Timmy, this kid's going to be in the UFC. You should see this kid. He's phenomenal. Just turned 24 years old. Phenomenal training partner. You tell him to be there at 6 a.m., he's there 6 a.m. ready to go. You tell him to be there any time of the day. Sunday, he's there. He's got the work ethic. He reminds me a lot of myself, a young kid that just is at everybody at camps, wants to help out. And I truly believe that he'll be in the UFC within the coming months. And so just the stablemates that I had, to keep me sharp, but also the mental focus that I had, and also, the move to Vegas, obviously going through a divorce and, redirecting my life. It's not just me, it's my ex-wife. It's, she has a life as well. We have a child that we love dearly. He's such a blessing to me, and this one was for him. This one was definitely for him, just to showcase whatever you go through in life, you can always just, rise above. I always tell him that, life's not fair. You got to work for what you want, and, he turns 5 next week. So I'm just grateful that I got this win. I get to go and celebrate his birthday at Disneyland. That's something that he's wanting to do, go see Spider-Man. So just so many key factors played a huge role in this victory and where I'm at in life. And I'm just thankful that I have a good team, good people around me. And, whatever you're going through in life, there's ways to correct it. There's ways, if you feel like there's not going to be a tomorrow, you can go get help. For me, it was seeking mental help. There was something that was off. There was something. I was walking down to the octagon as a world champion after trying to regain that, and I wasn't engaged, and I had to seek help. You're not weak to do that. This is our life, and everything. Our performances are broadcasted across the world for everyone to judge and to see and to harp on. They don't know that we're humans at the end of the day. We still go through everyday things that, if you call it, regular humans go through. They put us on a pedestal, but I truly believe everyone ties their shoes the same way. Some people just do it differently.
Hey, Cody. It seemed like you ate a couple clean shots in that third round, man. How did it feel to kind of shut the doubters up that you can't that you can still eat a punch? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that's the thing. I think in my performances, I didn't give a fuck. That I would go in there and just kind of be reckless and give myself, when you meet force with force, what happens? A collision, you got someone coming forward and, it just happens. And I just think the mentality, he hit me some clean stuff and, it was fine. He got me in a deep guillotine, with my arm was completely numb, couldn't feel it. But, we trained for those. We're prepared for, the worst, we're prepared for the worst, but we train for the best outcome, But yeah, it's nice to, obviously not get punched and kicked in the face. No one, who likes that? That's not fun. It's not enjoyable. But yeah, it's, it's a fight. Nothing's perfect. You're gonna get hit in there. You're gonna get taken down. You're gonna maybe get tired, but you got to have that mental fortitude to push past all that, and that comes through preparation, and putting the work in.
And finally for me, man, can you just talk about the pressure you had on your shoulders? Like you were fighting for your job, maybe fighting for your career, and you fought through just so much adversity. Can you just talk about the pressure you had on your shoulders tonight?
You know that I got that question a lot this week. Like, what's your expectations? And honestly, I didn't have any expectations. You know, my coaches got me ready for the game plan and what to expect from, you know, my adversary. But damn, those planes are going crazy, huh? You know, what to expect from Trevin and, you know, what to expect. But for me was the, you know, be myself. You know, I had my coaches, Dewey, Chase, and Javid, you know, just believe in who you are, man. Like, you're born to do this. You're bred to do this. Like, enjoy it. You're a world champion. You're fast. Believe in your instincts. And having them believe in me, it really put self-belief back in myself all camp, and just reassuring that, you know, I've done everything to, you know, get this win.
When Bruce Buffer read your name, how'd that feel?
It's always great. You know what I mean? It's always great when Bruce reads your name after the fight. You know, it's a little nerve wracking before. You're trying to, you know, not get too excited and stoked out, but it's always great after the fight. You know, it's something that I dreamed of since I was a kid. You know, it's something that at my darkest times as a child growing up, I was always thinking about Dana White wrapping the world title around my waist and Bruce Buffer saying "and new" or "and still." So it's the dream's still alive, you know. The passion's there, you know, as long as I want to do this for.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Cody, congrats on the win. I know you mentioned during media day that 25 is not a problem, but at 35 tonight, your footwork was there. Tank gas looked great. Even with the stuff that you disclosed came up, how awesome did you feel tonight? Because you looked pretty solid all 15 minutes.
Yeah, I felt great. You know, we prepared for that. I had great training partners. I had, you know, things happen in camp that, you know, there's never ideal situations, you know. And I think one of the best quotes that Coach Dewey said to me since being under his wing is that it's not matter how you feel, it's what you do. You know, there's just things that you're gonna wake up and feel like shit, you know, and there's gonna be outside forces trying to block greatness, you know, always. That's, you know, there's always evil things trying to block good things in this life. And that's something that I've taken this, you know, since he said it. You know, I think it was to another you know, fighter that he trained, but he just said, it's not matter how you feel, it's what you do, you know. So with everything going on past 16 months, the surgeries, the, you know, the little setbacks, the fight's not prospering, I just took that into consideration. Like, that's true. It doesn't matter how you feel, it's what you do. And we had to go out there and get a job done.
Yes, sir. Agreed. And to piggyback off, how was it? Did it add to tonight having your new family win? You had the teammates win. You had Coach Cooper. Did that just bring things really together and you really solidify? Like, okay, we're firing on all cylinders tonight.
I think that obviously a win is great, but to see like the happiness from your corner and people that grind with you day in, day out, and do this with, you know, that's family, you know, that's added family. And that just makes me feel so much better to see how happy they are, you know, for me and, you know, what we've been through. And, you know, I'm just excited to have them in my corner, and I truly believe sky's the limit. You know, I have some phenomenal stablemates that are going to be fighting at the top level for years to come. The Basharat brothers are going to be there, you know, to sharpen those skills with them. Is phenomenal. Like I said, Twilight Timmy, he's going to be here. We have a great Coach Dewey has a great stable of fighters, and a lot of them come to him because of who he is and what he brings to the table, and the energy and the love and just the passion. So we have a good stable of fighters, and you know, you see it. We just went 2-0 tonight with Farad's win and my win. The week before we had O'Day. We have Marvin Vittori fighting next week in London. So it's keeping this ball rolling.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. And congrats on this win and this awesome gift for your son next week.
Yeah, thank you. All right.